Hey everyone, welcome back. We're going to get into another weekly astrology video here. We've got the week of December 29th, so this will be the very last week of the entire year, leading into New Year's and crossing over into January of 2026. So as we straddle the end of 2025 and the dawn of 2026, the cosmos is setting quite the stage. The energetic tone of this week is transformative and emotionally charged, yet grounded by practical shifts. We begin the week steadying ourselves after the holiday rush. The moon settles into earthy Taurus, urging us to slow down and find comfort in simplicity. Mental energy undergoes a serious reality check as Mercury makes a serious contact with Saturn, injecting a note of pragmatism and perhaps a tad of pessimism into our reflections. By midweek, however, things get buzzy and social. A Gemini moon carries us through New Year's Eve, promising chats and curiosity, perfect for reminiscing and connecting. But watch out for rose-colored fog as Mercury clashes with Neptune on New Year's Day, a cue to double-check plans and mind our boundaries during celebration. The big headline this week is a powerful full moon in Cancer on Saturday, January 3rd, which reaches peak illumination at 5:00 a.m., 5:03 a.m. And again, I'm in the Eastern time zone, so adjust accordingly when receiving these dates and times. This isn't just any full moon, it's a wolf moon supermoon, appearing larger and brighter than usual as it beams from perigee, the moon's closest point to Earth. Emotionally, it's a culmination point as the energy ties together the past year's themes. Cancer is the moon's home sign. So as feelings run deep, nostalgia, family matters, and the need for security and care take to center stage. The full moon falls opposite to the Capricorn sun and closely tangles with Venus and Mars too, because we have Venus and Mars both in Capricorn right now, and we had Venus go into Capricorn on Christmas Eve, creating a dynamic push-pull between heart and duty. That push-pull is between the Cancer full moon and the Capricorn sun. Heart and duty, home and career. It's a potent moment to release what no longer serves us. Think of it as an emotional purge of 2025's baggage, and to set intentions rooted in self-care as we step into 2026. Amidst this high tide of feeling, the cosmos provides supportive shifts. Mercury enters Capricorn on New Year's Day, lending mental clarity and a get-to-business attitude for our resolutions. And Mercury moving into Capricorn will then be joining Venus and Mars and the moon that will already be there, moving right out of this period where they were all sitting in Sagittarius together. And now to begin 2026, we're going to have all of them sitting in Capricorn together, which is convenient that they're all lining up within Capricorn season. So we have Saturn really holding a number of those planets at the beginning of the year for 2026. After a confusing or dreamy start to January 1st, Mercury's move into Capricorn, where it will stay until January 20th, helps us ground our thoughts, plan strategically, and communicate more deliberately. We also get a boost on the healing front with Chiron, the wounded healer asteroid, stations direct in Aries on Friday, ending a 5-month retrograde period. With Chiron moving direct at 22 degrees of Aries, the inner work we've been doing around identity and old wounds can start yielding outward progress. Overall, this week's energetic arc moves from slow and steady, Taurus grounding, to mentally murky, which is Mercury and Neptune's fog, to emotionally intense with the Cancer full moon catharsis, to finally a sunnier, more playful note as the moon saunters into Leo by Sunday. On Monday at 7 a.m., we begin with the moon entering Taurus, which brings emotional energy shifts from action-oriented Aries to steady, comfort-loving Taurus. We also have the moon squaring Pluto in the mid-morning. The The Taurus moon forms a tense square to Pluto in Aquarius, stirring up power struggles or intense feelings beneath the calm surface. And then we have the moon trining with Venus late in the afternoon, bringing a harmonious moon-Venus trine. The Taurus moon to Capricorn Venus, which smooths relationships and boosts affectionate, indulgent vibes. And then in the evening, we have the sun trining the moon, which is creating an easy flow between our conscious goals and our emotional needs as the night falls. So after a lively weekend, Monday dawns with a grounding breath of fresh air. The moon says goodbye to feisty Aries and enters Taurus early in the morning, inviting us to downshift our tempo. Whereas an Aries moon had us impulsive and on the go, the Taurus moon wants us to pause, get comfy, and focus on the basics. There's a palpable sense of calm determination setting in. However, not everything is mellow on Monday. By mid-morning, the moon squares Pluto, introducing an undercurrent of intensity. You might notice a brief bout of tension or power dynamics at play. Perhaps an internal tussle between wanting peace versus confronting a pressing issue. If you sense old anxieties creeping up or someone pushing your buttons, recognize it as Pluto's doing. The best way through a moon-Pluto square is awareness. Don't let minor frustrations fester. Acknowledge any strong emotions or stubborn resistance this Taurus moon can dig its heels in, and find a constructive outlet. This aspect passes fairly quickly, so avoid making mountains out of molehills. By late afternoon, the mood significantly lightens. The moon forms a lovely trine to Venus in Capricorn, restoring harmony and sweetness. This cosmic alignment between the emotional moon and the love planet Venus often coincides with pleasant social interactions and a desire for comfort. It's an excellent time to enjoy simple pleasures, maybe a nice meal, a friendly catch-up call, or tidying up your space to make it beautiful and cozy. Relationships get a boost of warmth. It's easier to express care or gratitude, and others seem more responsive to kindness. Since Venus in Capricorn values practical expressions of love, you might show you care by doing something helpful for someone or vice versa. As Monday evening arrives, the sun in Capricorn trines the moon in Taurus, completing the day on a note of inner balance. When the sun and moon are in trine, our conscious self, the sun, and our emotions, the moon, sing in harmony. You could feel a gentle confidence that you've handled the day's tasks responsibly, which is Capricorn's influence, while also honoring your need for comfort and rest, which is the Taurus emotional moon. It's a fantastic evening for reflection on what makes you feel secure. Many will feel content to stick to a familiar routine tonight, relishing a sense of normalcy. Overall, Monday sets a steady and productive tone for the week's start, with just a hint of intensity earlier on to keep things interesting. Take advantage of this grounded energy because the cosmic weather gets more exciting and mentally foggy as we approach New Year's. And remember, Capricorn is that work hard energy, and then Taurus is a bit of that stubborn but cozy, comfortable vibes, right? On Tuesday, December 30th, before dawn, we have Mercury making a square to Saturn. In the very wee hours, Mercury in Sagittarius formed a tight square with Saturn in Pisces, and exact just after midnight. This aspect can bring heavy or critical thinking, mental roadblocks, or the need to confront reality in plans. Its influence may linger in the morning, so if you wake up with a serious mindset, that's Mercury-Saturn talking. The moon is in Taurus all day. The moon continues through sensual Taurus, keeping us focused on practical matters, comfort, and stability. It's a day for steady progress and maybe enjoying some material pleasures. So leftover cookies or leftover snacks from the holidays seem to line up with the moon in Taurus. We also have the moon making a trine to Mars just after midnight. So shortly after midnight, the Taurus moon trines Mars in Capricorn, infusing the late night and early morning with a productive, motivated energy. Perhaps you feel a midnight burst of organizing zeal or determination. We then have a moon sextile with Jupiter in the evening. The moon makes a friendly sextile to Jupiter in Cancer. By late afternoon, early evening, This brings a gentle wave of optimism, generosity, or emotional warmth as the day begins to wind down. The day begins under the practical influence of the Taurus moon, but our mental atmosphere might feel a bit weighty due to the Mercury-Saturn square that perfected overnight. If morning finds you wrestling with worries, second-guessing yourself, or moving a little slower mentally, you're tuning into this aspect. Mercury square Saturn is known to create a little friction between our thoughts and reality's demands. It's like the cosmos hits the serious button in our brain. You might be dwelling on responsibilities or noticing flaws in plans that seemed fine before. While this influence can make communication feel stifled or pessimistic, it also has a positive side. It encourages thoroughness. This morning, you have permission to take your time, double-check details. If you're working or running errands, stick to tried and true methods. Mercury square Saturn can actually help to solidify plans, albeit by pointing out problems first. So don't be discouraged by any negative self-talk. Instead, use it as constructive critique. As the day progresses, this aspect's fog lifts, especially by afternoon. Any morning mental fog should clear up, leaving you with useful bits, a clearer understanding of what must be done and in what order. All the while, the moon remains in steady Taurus, so emotionally we're pretty even keeled on Tuesday. Taurus moon days are wonderful for practicing productivity, so tackle the to-do list step by step. There's also a tactile, sensual quality. You might find cooking, gardening, or even just wearing comfortable clothes extra satisfying. The slow but steady approach wins. With the holiday seasons excited mostly behind us, this is a great time to begin to ground yourself. Think about simple habits that make you feel good. Drinking enough water, taking a short walk. Taurus loves taking care of the body's basic needs. Late afternoon into the evening brings a lovely uplift. The moon forms a sextile to Jupiter. Jupiter is sitting retrograde in Cancer, harmonizing with the moon in Taurus as it creates a gentle, expansive mood. A moon-Jupiter sextile often correlates with feelings of gratitude and generosity. Tuesday night, you might notice yourself feeling thankful for the little things, a cozy home, family or friends, a stable job, anything that provides emotional or material security. Even a quick text to check on somebody or share some leftovers with a neighbor can go a long way under this influence. Emotionally, this aspect can wash away any residual heaviness from the morning, replacing it with contentment. Socially, Tuesday night is low-key but pleasant. It doesn't have the party energy of later in the week, but it's excellent for a relaxed gathering or personal reflection. With the Taurus moon and Jupiter in Cancer, we might be inclined to enjoy comfort food or a nostalgic movie. There's a domestic vibe here. Family time or cozying up with loved ones or a pet really hits the spot. If you have any year-end tasks to complete, tonight's mood supports wrapping things up with optimism. You could find closure on something that's been on your mind, feeling hopeful about the outcome. In summary, Tuesday offers a pragmatic day for solid work and a heartwarming finish. Embrace the steady rhythm and know that any mental gloom will give way to a sense of earned ease by day's end. So this brings us to Wednesday, December 31st. So of course this is New Year's Eve. The moon enters Gemini at 8 a.m. on New Year's Eve. The moon leaves placid Taurus and enters airy Gemini. In the morning, ramping up mental and social energy. The mood becomes curious, talkative, and restless, perfect for New Year's Eve interactions. In the early morning, it's a bit of a roller coaster. The moon in late Taurus made a series of aspects in the early morning. A sextile to Saturn, a conjunction with the unpredictable Uranus, and a sextile to Neptune. These might have manifested as strange dreams or a mix of steady and erratic feelings before dawn. If you wake up feeling a bit emotionally wobbly or offbeat, that could be why. The moon trines Pluto. Late morning, after moving into Gemini, the moon trines Pluto in Aquarius. This can deepen our connections and conversations or bring intense but empowering emotional currents. Perhaps meaningful insights or cathartic discussions bubble up around the middle of the day. So for New Year's Eve on a Gemini moon, All day and into the night, the Gemini moon fosters a lively social atmosphere. People may feel like connecting, chatting, and celebrating in a lighthearted way. Mental energy is high, but Mercury's building square to Neptune, exact by tomorrow morning, so New Year's Day, advises us to keep plans clear and communication straightforward to avoid any mix-ups. So Wednesday's vibe, it's New Year's Eve, and the cosmos has delivered the ideal party moon. With the moon entering Gemini early today, the emotional tone becomes bright, witty, and mobile. After 2 days of solid Taurus energy, this is a noticeable shift. You might feel a pep in your step and a craving for variety. Gemini moon days tend to scatter our focus in a fun way, making us keen to multitask, socialize, and learn new tidbits. It's as if hearts have grown butterfly wings, fitting from one interest to another. This bodes extremely well for New Year's Eve festivities. Conversations will spark easily, humor is in the air, and folks are more inclined to mingle with different circles rather than stay in just one spot. If you're hosting or attending a gathering, expect a buzz of chatter and maybe some last-minute changes or spontaneous ideas. Gemini loves to keep things interesting. Let's rewind a bit to the early morning though, because some subtle mood swings occurred while many of us were sleeping. The Taurus moon, at the tail end of Taurus, made aspects to Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune in the pre-dawn hours, as we discussed already. A sextile to Saturn around 12:55 a.m. lent stability. Perhaps you slept deeply or had serious reflections before bed. Then the moon met Uranus, which could have triggered odd dreams or even a sudden nighttime wake-up. Uranus is electric. Some people might have felt restless or had a sort of eureka moment in the middle of the night while sleeping. By 6:20 a.m., the moon sextiles Neptune, adding a mystical, dreamy flavor. More vivid dreams or a desire to hit the snooze button and drift off for a little bit longer. All that is to say, if you felt a bit groggy or emotionally uneven upon waking up, it's understandable. There was a cosmic cocktail of structured Saturn, unpredictable and erratic Uranus, and then dreamy mystic Neptune, influences favoring our subconscious early today. The good news is that once the moon enters Gemini at 8:10 a.m., those heavier or weirder undertones will begin to scatter. The mood lightens considerably and gains mental clarity. Late Wednesday morning, the freshly arrived Gemini moon trines with Pluto in Aquarius. This is an interesting boost of depth in an otherwise light energy day. Pluto adds intensity and sincerity. You might find that a late morning conversation goes unexpectedly deep, or you uncover an insight about the past year that feels transformative. Because this is a flowing trine, it doesn't impose heaviness, rather it empowers the Gemini moon with a dash of profound emotion. It's like finding a moment of real truth or intimacy amid the day's chatter. If you have important errands or meetings midday, you can use this aspect with persuasive clarity and listen intently. Gemini's gift of gab combined with Pluto's depth makes for impactful communication. Just think back to the Taurus moon Just think back to the Taurus moon square Pluto on Monday. That was tension. This is harmony with Pluto, much easier. By the afternoon and into the evening, the stage is set for celebrations. A Gemini moon on New Year's Eve practically invites us to meet new people, try new things, and enjoy variety. You might feel drawn to split your time between multiple friend groups or activities, maybe dropping by a couple of gatherings rather than just one, or video chatting with friends in different time zones. The energy is festive, youthful, and a little bit restless. Don't be surprised if you change your mind about what your midnight plan is, even at the last minute. One thing to keep in mind, though, is that Mercury, the ruler of Gemini, is approaching a square with Neptune, which will be exact early on January 1st. So this can bring a lot of confusion and illusion and tension in conversations. This means as the night wears on, a haze could creep into communications. In practical terms, double check the party details and travel plans. Misunderstandings can happen under Mercury-Neptune squares, especially with people coming and going. If you're texting friends, be clear. Autocorrect makes mistakes, or drunk texting could lead to funny confusion. Also, Neptune adds idealism and escapism, and it's New Year's, so yes, there may be libations and dreamy romanticizing of the year ahead. Just keep an eye on overindulgence. Enjoy the magic of the moment, but maybe pace yourself with the champagne. Mercury squaring Neptune can blur how much we think we can handle, so stay aware. Overall, this New Year's Eve carries a sparkling, sociable buzz. The cosmos encourages us to celebrate in a versatile way. It might not be the most emotionally deep New Year's Eve, no heavy water sign vibes in the evening, which is fine, but it's clearly and certainly engaging and likely pretty fun. If you're an introvert, a Gemini moon can be mentally stimulating even if you're staying in. Perhaps you'll be reading, writing down resolutions, or chatting online. However you spend it, the curiosity and connectivity of today's lunar energy helps us bid farewell to 2025 with a sense of interest and open-mindedness. Get ready because 2026 is knocking, and it's coming in with a mysterious Neptunian mist at the doorstep. We'll talk about that in Thursday's forecast. For tonight, follow the Gemini moon's lead, be flexible, and keep it light. And 2026 is going to be an interesting year for Neptune and Saturn as well. Saturn was involved here because we have both of them shifting into Aries this year. And in February, they're both going to be meeting up at exactly 0 degrees Aries, which is the very first degree of the entire zodiac wheel. So this is a massive conjunction. Well, the last time that they had a conjunction, an exact conjunction, was the fall of the Berlin Wall. But the last time that they were both conjunct at 0 degrees Aries would have been thousands of years ago. So, and I think the last time it happened actually coincided with the rise of agriculture. So this is going to be a massive conjunction year for Saturn and Neptune, and for us. So these videos are starting to get a little bit long. I think I'm gonna cut out the summary of each day before, where I just go over each of the transits each day, and I'm just gonna do the full description instead and see if we can help shorten these a little bit, because I don't intend for all of these videos, these weekly videos, to be an hour long. I'd like to cut them to about 30 minutes each. So I think I'm overdoing it a bit here. So I'm gonna cut out the short form overview, and I'm just going to skip right into the descriptions. And if you've made it this far in the video, I'd really appreciate the support on the channel. If you could subscribe if you're enjoying these videos to get notifications about future videos, then it would be very much appreciated. And if you could like this video and any of my videos that you've watched, then I'd really appreciate that as well. It really helps with the channel going forward and keeping this alive and helping me with production quality too. I'd like to upgrade as we go. Just it would really be appreciated. Thank you if you've already done that. Okay, so Thursday, January 1st, 2026. The day starts off a bit slow or even surreal, cosmically speaking. Most of us wake up on January 1st feeling not just the normal first day of the year laziness, but also the effect of Mercury square Neptune that started earlier on and perfected in the morning. If you're up early in the morning or still haven't gone to bed from the night before, you might notice a sense of mental fog. Mercury square Neptune is the classic recipe for confusion. Our thoughts and communication signals get crossed. It might feel like you're walking through a dream, or that reality hasn't quite solidified yet on this first day of the year. Indeed, this aspect can manifest as lingering grogginess, vivid imaginations, or even outright misunderstandings. You might misplace your phone or one of your belongings while it's in your hand, stumble through making coffee, or even find that a simple conversation ends with confusion, like, wait, what did you mean? What were you really saying? That kind of thing. Neptune's influence can be spiritual and creative too, though. Some of you might have awakened from spiritually significant dreams or feel unusually inspired artistically in the morning. However, practical tasks could be challenging. Double check anything important like addresses, meeting times, or specific details, whether you added salt or sugar to the recipe or whatever it is. Beware promises made in fog. In other words, hold off on making big commitments or assumptions while Mercury is in this slippery square with Neptune. It's very easy to either deceive ourselves or unintentionally mislead others under this transit. If you're writing out your New Year's resolutions right now, allow some flexibility. What seems like a fantastic rosy plan today may need a reality check by tomorrow. Fortunately, the cosmic weather shifts significantly by late afternoon. Mercury enters Capricorn at 4 o'clock p.m., and you might actually feel the mind-clearing effect as the day begins to progress. Mercury in Capricorn is basically the antidote to Mercury square Neptune's confusion, where Sagittarius, Mercury's previous sign, was optimistic and a bit scattered, and Neptune's involvement added fog. Capricorn Mercury says, all right, let's get down to business. The mental vibe snaps from dreamy to focused and practical. Suddenly you're aware of the time, your schedule for tomorrow, or the fact that the holidays are truly over and real life is resuming. But don't worry, this clarity is helpful, not harsh. Over the next few weeks, this energy is perfect for planning the year ahead, setting goals, and having serious discussions that require realism. If you felt too foggy earlier to articulate your resolutions or intentions, try again in the evening. You'll likely find the words come more easily and sensibly. Throughout New Year's Day, the moon remains in Gemini, which keeps the social vibe going, but in a slightly more toned down way than the night before. People might still be chatty and inclined to reach out, wishing Happy New Year's and such, especially as they recount last night's events or share hopes for 2026. However, the combination of the Mercury square with Neptune in the morning and perhaps the after effects of late night celebrations means many will take it easy today. It's a great time for light mental activities, maybe graze through some interesting reading, watch a film, Neptune loves movies, or have casual conversations about ideas. Just remember, earlier in the day communication can be wonky. Thursday evening is poised to be quite pleasant in a low-key way. With Mercury now firmly in Capricorn, you might feel an urge to do something productive, even if small, to honor the new year. Perhaps you'll organize a corner of your room, write down a budget, or have a heart-to-heart talk that set a serious but positive tone. The Gemini moon encourages a bit of reading or journaling. It could be lovely to reflect on your goals in writing. Emotional energy is relatively light. The moon is about to go void of course, meaning it's wrapping up its business in Gemini. This suggests that major initiations can wait until tomorrow, when the moon enters Cancer, its home sign. Tonight is more about integration and mental organization. In summary, New Year's Day 2026 begins in a bit of a mental dreamy haze and ends with clear determination. It's almost poetic. We step into the new year through a Neptunian mist, reminding us of our dreams and ideals. Then Mercury in Capricorn helps us earth and ground those ideals and dreams, creating them into achievable plans. Take advantage of the mental clarity emerging later on. Perhaps do something symbolic to mark this transition. For example, if the morning felt weird or lazy, intentionally do a grounded activity in the evening, like taking a brisk walk or planning your January calendar to sync up with Mercury's groove. Welcome to 2026. It's time to turn inspiration into action, one practical step at a time. So diving right into Friday, today has a general distinct feeling of transition and preparation. It's almost as if the universe is tidying up loose ends and encouraging us to get cozy before the big show, tomorrow's full moon. The moon spent the last couple of days flitting about in Gemini, but as of this morning at about 8 o'clock, she slips into Cancer, again her home sign, her absolute favorite place to be. We often feel a moon sign change immediately, and this one is likely to be palpable. The Cancer moon turns our attention to inner life, home, family, close loved ones, our own needs and feelings. Again, the moon representing emotions and Cancer being the home sign of the moon. Cancer is the sign of the moon, so the home, emotions, everything close to the heart. After the buzzing social energy of this earlier week, you might suddenly feel like staying home, wearing pajamas, or cooking comfort food. This is completely natural. The moon in Cancer is whispering, take care of yourself. It's a wonderful day for self-care, perhaps a nice bath, catching up in a journal, or spending time with people or pets that feel like family. Emotions do tend to run a lot higher under a Cancer moon. It's known to make us a bit more moody or vulnerable, and given that we're now less than 24 hours from a full moon in Cancer, those Cancerian themes are completely amplified. You may notice people around you or yourself becoming more sensitive. Small slights might sting a little bit more. An old memory could surface with emotional force. If that happens, be gentle with yourself and with others. It's all part of the full moon pressure release valve starting to turn. And here we have Kenny coming to join me for the video again. The key is to nurture, not to judge whatever comes up. Cancer is symbolized by the crab. And like a crab, we might seek a safe shell to retreat if the world feels too harsh. It's okay to create a cozy little bubble for yourself today if you need it. This morning also brings a cosmic milestone as Chiron stations direct in Aries. Chiron's energy is subtle, but its station can coincide with notable shifts in our personal healing process. Since July 2025, Chiron retrograde likely had us reviewing old wounds, especially related to our independence and self-confidence. Sorry, when Kenny comes in, I feel a little bit slower. I can't focus as much. Obviously, my attention is divided. I mean, look at that face. Look at that face. How could my attention not be divided? Eh? Boop. Where was I? We've been learning where it hurts and how to heal it, often internally. Now as Chiron goes direct, we gradually start moving forward with those those lessons. You might not notice a thunderclap moment, but perhaps you realize, I'm ready to let this go, or I can take what I've learned about myself and do something productive with it. Kenny, I appreciate you so much and I love having you here, but you're kind of impeding on my video. Okay, I'm trying to get through this. We're already pretty far into this video, and I'd like to try and wrap it up soon, okay? That's better, buddy. Thank you. If you discovered during the Chiron retrograde that a certain relationship pattern was hurting you, Chiron direct might inspire you to set a boundary or try a new approach. Aries is a sign of action, after all. So if you think about self-healing actions that you can take, even small steps count. Chiron direct is like a green light for gentle progress in our emotional and spiritual healing journey. Late morning, we get a little mental versus emotional tug of war as the Cancer moon opposes Mercury in Capricorn. This is a classic scenario of feelings versus facts. Mercury in Capricorn, fresh off its grounding ingress, is all about logical planning and stating things bluntly as they are. The Cancer moon, on the other hand, is all heart and subjectivity. So don't be surprised around this time if you feel internally conflicted. Part of you might say, be responsible, stick to the plan, while another part says, I just want to do what feels right for me emotionally. In interactions, this could play out too. Maybe you express an emotional need and someone responds with practical advice that, while well-intentioned, doesn't address how you feel, or vice versa. The way through an opposition is integration. Try to let both sides have their say. Acknowledge the feelings with the Cancer moon and also consider the practical solution, Mercury in Capricorn. For instance, you might feel lonely, moon in Cancer, but Mercury in Capricorn might nudge you to schedule a meetup rather than just sulk. Use the Capricorn rationality to support the Cancer heart, not dismiss it. And if communications get testy, maybe a family member is a bit curt or someone misinterprets a tone, give each other some grace. Remember, everyone is a tad more sensitive right now. The afternoon is relatively quiet astrologically. The moon moves through Cancer without making new major transits for a while. This lull is actually a gift. It allows the intense full moon energy to gather without a lot of extra celestial noise. Many of us will naturally gravitate towards homey or preparatory activities. It's Friday, so perhaps you're off work or early or have the evening to yourself. Consider using this time to set up a comforting environment, clean up a bit, put on some music, maybe pre-plan a relaxing activity for later. It might sound funny, but full moon eve under a Cancer moon could have us instinctively cleaning out our literal or metaphorical homes, tying up the week, so to speak, and make space for whatever emotional revelation the full moon will bring. By late night, the moon forms a trine to Saturn, which is now direct and inching through the last degrees of Pisces. A moon-Saturn trine is stabilizing. It's like the cosmos saying, all right, let's ground these feelings in wisdom and maturity. If you're awake near midnight, you might feel a wave of calm or resolve. Perhaps some emotional issue from earlier in the day settles down, or you find comfort in tradition or routine. Saturn loves tradition, Cancer loves familiarity. This aspect is also great for sleeping soundly, since Saturn can lend a sleepy, anchoring energy to the emotional moon. It's a supportive note to end the night on, a bit of cosmic reassurance that you can handle whatever the full moon will illuminate. In summary, Friday is about nesting and resting. We turn inward, take stock of our feelings, and literally or figuratively prepare our homes and hearts for a powerful release. With Chiron direct, we've reminded that healing is happening, slowly but surely. Treat today as a gentle lead up to tomorrow's emotional high tide. The more you honor your need for comfort and acknowledgement now, the more smoothly the full moon's energy can flow and do its cleansing work. So wrap yourself in that favorite blanket, have a heart-to-heart with someone you trust or with your journal, and know that by facing inward today, you're right where you're supposed to be. Well, here we are. We're at the emotional pinnacle of the week on Saturday, which brings us the first full moon of 2026 in Cancer, which I guess pretty much it always is every year. The moon begins the year in its favorite sign. But a full moon in Cancer, supermoon, so that's a really great start. Entangled with potent planetary players. If there's one word for today, it's cathartic. Cancer is the sign of the moon. So when the moon is full in Cancer, it's in its element turned up to 150%. You may feel like an overflowing cup. Whether that cup is overflowing with tears, joy, nostalgia, love, frustration, or all of the above in rapid succession, it's completely natural. Allow the feelings to wash through. Let's unpack the major themes of this full moon. We have Cancer versus Capricorn. This is the axis that's being highlighted right now. Cancer rules our private life, which is our home, family, and emotional needs, the past, and our sense of safety. Capricorn rules our public life, which is work, duties, goals, achievements, and authority figures. With the sun in Capricorn shining its light on the moon in Cancer, we're called to find balance between these spheres. Perhaps you realize you've been working too hard, Capricorn sun, at the expense of family or self-care, the Cancer moon. Or conversely, maybe you see that staying in your comfort zone, Cancer, is limiting your progress toward a goal, Capricorn. These revelations can hit with force today. Because it's a full moon, many people experience endings or turning points. For instance, you might finalize a decision about moving, so this is home versus career, resolve a work-family conflict, or emotionally come to terms with something from your past that lets you step forward in your professional life. Or you get news. The full moons often bring things to light. Keep an eye out for synchronicities around these Cancer Capricornian themes. Intensifying all of this are Venus and Mars, who are currently sitting in Capricorn as well. The moon's opposition to Venus and Mars in Capricorn can act like additional triggers. Moon opposite Venus, which happened a couple hours before the full moon is exact, suggests that relationships, themes, and personal values are deeply woven into this lunation. You may have confronted early this morning, am I feeling valued? Am I getting the affection or security that I need? Cancer in that I need in my partnerships or from the people that I care about? If not, that might hurt more right now, or you might demand change. Alternatively, maybe you had a swell of gratitude for someone's love and support. Venus in Capricorn is about commitment and loyalty. The moon opposing it asks if our emotional needs align with the commitments we've made. Some could have had heart-to-heart moments or poignant realizations about love during the pre-dawn hours. Then the moon makes its opposition to Mars, which adds spice and possibly conflict. Mars in Capricorn is very driven and sometimes a bit strict or impatient. With the moon confronting Mars, tempers can flare up. It's the classic "why do I feel so irritated" aspect. This likely peaked at around breakfast time. Perhaps something or someone pushed your buttons. If you found yourself in a minor squabble or just generally feeling agitated, Mars is the culprit here. On the positive side, Mars opposite the moon can give courage to face emotional issues. It's a confrontational energy, and sometimes confrontation is absolutely necessary. You might have finally asserted yourself or took action on a lingering home task. Some people clean like crazy during these lunations, channeling the buzz into scrubbing floors, which is not a bad strategy realistically. Because emotions are high and Mars can provoke, try not to do anything completely reckless. Use caution if you're out and about. People can drive hastily or be distracted. If you're feeling overwhelmed, pause and take deep breaths rather than acting immediately. Mars opposite the moon is like a quick storm. Intense, but it will pass. Now, considering the supermoon factor, physically the moon is closer to Earth, which many believe correlates to stronger gravitational pulls. Some folks notice higher tides, literal and metaphorical. You might feel extra moonish, like hard to sleep or maybe feeling a little bit loony. Supermoons can apparently appear 30% brighter, and we can think of that as 30% brighter illumination on our lives. So some truths might hit it in glaring clarity. By late afternoon, the intensity should start easing up as the moon separates from oppositions and then conjoins Jupiter. Jupiter, the cosmic benefic. Even though Jupiter is retrograde in Cancer, its conjunction with the moon is like a big warm hug after a tough therapy session. Emotions find a positive outlet. You could feel a surge of optimism, forgiveness, or simply the desire to celebrate surviving the emotional roller coaster that we've just been through. It's quite possible that something very good emerges from the day's events. Jupiter often signifies silver linings. Maybe a family conflict earlier leads to a greater understanding now, or you feel proud of yourself for acknowledging your feelings and thus create more space for joy. The Moon-Jupiter combo can also inflate whatever we're feeling, but since it's a harmonious conjunction in Cancer, it usually skews toward generosity or happiness. Don't be surprised if Saturday evening turns surprisingly upbeat. You might suddenly crave to gather with loved ones for a comforting meal or spontaneously decide to share some kindness, like donating items or helping someone. This night is perfect for some kind of ritual or gratitude or release. The moon is still very full in the sky, though technically waning after the peak, shining down with that Jupiterian optimism. It might feel relieving, like exhaling after holding your breath. Jupiter will keep an eye that you don't sink, instead helping you float on the tides of emotions with a little bit of faith. In short, Saturday is a powerful emotional day. It's the kind of day that might be a turning point when you look back later. Ride the waves, don't fight them. By nighttime, the seas calm a bit, and you may even find them sparkling under the Moon-Jupiter light, hinting at a new hope, deeper connection, and emotional growth born from the day's experiences. Embrace the wolf moon's cleansing and let it all out. You'll step in tomorrow feeling lighter and clearer.